You're listening to The Bountiful Yogi, a podcast where soul meets practice and where we explore what it means to live, lead, and love from a place of deep alignment. I'm Heather, and I created this space as part of Sea Life as a Muse, a platform for storytelling, healing, and embodiment for people who feel deeply and are doing their best to live with intention. Whether you're a seeker, a healer, a teacher, a creative, or someone simply navigating the world with an open heart, I'm so glad you're here. However you got here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. It means the world to me that you're here. These episodes are meant to be short and digestible, little pockets of perspective. And if you feel inclined, you can read the blog that inspired today's episode at sealifeasamuse.com or on Substack. Let's take a breath together and begin. Until this week, I didn't even know the Kailasa Temple existed. It appeared in my feed as a short story, and with my curious mind, that was all it took to send me down a rabbit hole of history, intrigue, and wonder. The more I read, the more I learned. And the more I learned, the more I reflected. Because the Kailasa Temple isn't just a marvel of stone and skill, it's a living reminder of what happens when human beings come together around a vision that is bigger than themselves. It teaches us that when we lead with devotion, patience, and love, we create something enduring. And when we lead with fear, hate, or the hunger for control, we create only destruction and harm. In the 8th century, artisans under the rule of King Krishna I began carving the Kailasa Temple in Maharashtra, India. From 756 to 773 CE, they cut into solid basalt with hammer and chisel. They didn't build upward, stacking stone upon stone. They began at the top of the cliff and carved downward. What they revealed was astonishing: courtyards, shrines, colonnades, and sculptures so intricate that even modern engineers puzzle at the precision. But Kailasa wasn't only about beauty, it was about function and harmony. The acoustics were designed so prayers and chants would resonate. The water system captured rainfall and guided it through the temple in sacred flow. And the art carried threads of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, evidence that artisans of different traditions and beliefs worked side by side, united in their devotion. This was the power of a common goal, not one person's ego, not one small group's gain, but a vision of something sacred, something bigger than any single life. Sometimes people ask if Kailasa was built by slaves. History says no. The temple was carved by skilled guilds, hereditary communities of artisans, engineers, mathematicians, and stonecutters who saw their work as sacred. Guided by texts like the Shilpa Shastra, they carved not just with precision, but with spirit. Each strike of the chisel was both labor and offering. It was grueling work, heat, dust, stone, exhaustion. But what endures in the temple is not the mark of desperation, it's the mark of devotion. That's why Kailasa feels alive even now, because it wasn't built by fear or force. It was carved by vision, patience, and collective devotion. Centuries later, in the 1680s, Emperor Aurangzeb ordered the temple destroyed. For 3 years, soldiers chipped away at Kailasa. They broke faces from statues, scarred walls, severed limbs of sacred figures, but they couldn't succeed. Why? Because Kailasa wasn't assembled. It was carved whole from the mountain. To destroy it completely would have meant dismantling the mountain itself. So the soldiers left scars, but the temple endured. And that's the deeper truth. Destruction is quick, violent, and shallow, but devotion is patient, enduring, and strong. What the temple teaches us. When I think about Kailasa, I see a message carved in stone. When people come together for a common goal, they can create the unimaginable. When people lead with devotion, they create beauty and harmony. When people lead with fear or hate, they create destruction that ultimately fails. Kailasa teaches us that human beings are capable of astonishing things when they gather around a vision bigger than themselves. And the people who built it remind us that when skill, patience, and love for something greater come together, what is created becomes indestructible. This lesson is just as urgent today. We see leaders clinging to fear, rewriting history, silencing voices, and trying to chip away at the foundations of truth. That is destruction, shallow, temporary, harmful. But Kailasa whispers, the mountain is stronger. What is built on devotion outlasts empire, oppression, and fear. I leave you with this. The Kailasa Temple has stood for more than 1,200 years. Empires have come and gone. Soldiers scarred its walls, but the temple remains. It is a reminder that what is carved with devotion cannot be undone by destruction. So I ask you, what are you carving with your life? Are you hammering at the surface of things, chasing control and quick fixes? Or are you chiseling patiently, building something aligned with truth, compassion, and love? Because the soldiers are gone, the empire is dust, but Kailasa still stands, and what you build with devotion will too. If this episode resonated, I'd love to invite you to keep exploring this theme with us. You can find the full blog over at seelifeasamuse.com. And if you're craving community, come join us in Discord. We're sharing prompts, voice notes, and gentle check ins each week to help you root into your own rhythm. And if you're looking for quiet reflections between episodes, you can follow along on Blue Sky or join us on Substack. Until next time, stay bountiful and always see life as a muse.